Tell me how, I got nothing to say. Tell me why my dreams don't explain. 'Cause I'm not the one who won't try. I'm not letting life pass me by. And tell me when the days are less gray. And tell me where is the road to less pain. How many days before I decay? It's getting so hard to get by. Where are all my trophies in life? And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Set to sail to a place I can't say. Live a life worthy of chase. The time is today. New blood in my veins. I won't be the joker in life, playing the part I don't like. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. Yeah. And he hated the way he was dying, but the moment he turned on the light, he became what he dreamt of at night when he was young and hungry for life. 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 Young and hungry for life.
Oh, my goodness. You know, I'm starting to feel bad, legitimately now. I'm starting to feel bad for all the LA Knight fans out there, bro. Normally, I'm a man of many words. Normally, I'm a man of a lot of opinion. Guys, I don't know what's going on. Somebody there doesn't like him. It's basically what it boils down to. Somebody there doesn't like LA Knight. Maybe they prefer Max Dupree. Maybe he's going to end up like Max Dupree was going to end up. Maybe he'll be Eli Drake over in Jacksonville. Nobody knows, bro. I don't know. LA Knight on a temporary vacation, I guess, as they seemingly wrote him off television. The masked man is running wild, and no, it's not Chris Jericho or Seth Rollins. And the Usos, they're going to be yeeting in the tag team division. So now that makes WWE's women's tag team division and the WWE men's tag team division under a little bit more of a microscope lately. Gee, I wonder why. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. It's a big week. John Cena retires this week. And we're going to be here to cover it all. I'm not going nowhere. I'm sitting my ass at the bar ordering a cold beverage, and when I do, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw Post Show for December 8th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. Yeah. No. Chad, I don't know what to tell you in regards to LA Knight. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. I don't have the answers to this one. It's one of them unsolved mysteries. Going back to Saturday night's main event, after Seth Rollins needed to vacate the World Heavyweight Championship, instead of getting LA Knight versus CM Punk with LA Knight winning the World Heavyweight Championship, we got Jey Uso versus CM Punk in one of the worst professional wrestling matches of the entire year. CM Punk won a World Heavyweight Championship that is honestly, he's a secondary champion. He's beneath that championship. Or I should say above that championship. The championship is beneath him. He's way too important to be holding that type of championship. It's the secondary title in the company. I firmly believe that LA Knight should have won the World Heavyweight Championship that night, and LA Knight should right now be the World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw. LA Knight has done nothing since that Saturday night's main event. He entered himself into the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament, got all the way to the finals. It was a nice way to give him some wins, 2 of which were over The Miz. Give me a fucking break. Actually, no, he didn't win twice over The Miz. The Miz was in the tournament twice. He wrestled Jey Uso and then wrestled LA Knight. No difference. One of them was over The Miz. I don't understand where they're going with LA Knight. He gets to the finals of the tournament. He loses to Gunther in a very competitive match. Very good on Friday Night SmackDown. We all know how that was going to end anyway. Like, everybody knew exactly what was going to happen going into that match. I think everybody knew who was going to win the tournament before the tournament was even fucking announced, with all 16 competitors in the tournament. When we saw the field dwindle down to 8, I think we all kind of realized that LA Knight was going to the finals against Gunther. Ultimately lost. That was on Friday. Come Monday, LA Knight, he's wrestling Logan Paul in the de facto main event of tonight, which was ruined by the masked man. This masked man that's running wild, brother. All over Monday Night Raw, helping the Vision. And then he proceeds to get beat down pretty badly by the Vision. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Nobody came out to help LA Knight. Nobody. Not a single fucking soul. It's almost like LA Knight had no friends backstage. It's like nobody had any problems with the Vision anymore. Now, we don't want... That's none of our business anymore, man. Forget that. This guy got tsunamied 3 times. Twice in the ring and then once again backstage. Before he was tsunami backstage, off of a production crate on top of a white rental car, he got powerbombed through a table. Needless to say, LA Knight got his ass handed to him tonight. Yeah. I don't want to wear my tinfoil hat, but I'm going to assume that nobody is going to make a big deal about this in WWE. I think they want us to be riled up for some reason. WWE will spawn this into, it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan for LA Knight. I don't really see what the fucking plan is, honestly. The only thing I could really think of is the fact that somebody in management, somebody in creative, somebody at the top of the suit and tie totem pole, somebody there does not like LA Knight. I don't know who it is, Bruce. I don't want to make any speculations, Pritchard. I don't know what else it could be. I don't know what else it could be. Again, I don't want to jump to conclusions. I don't want to come up with something and then it doesn't happen. And I don't want to get you guys' hopes up if you're an LA Knight fanatic. But this has to be leading to something. It has to be going somewhere. Now, this week we heard rumors that WWE right now has penciled in to win the Royal Rumble. Braun Breaker is penciled right now in as the early favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I don't know who has plans like that and will leak them to the dirt sheets. I don't know why plans like that are even circulating in and around social media. The only people who know who's going to win the Royal Rumble are 3 or 4 guys. Triple H, Bruce Pritchard, whoever else is head of the writing team, and Nick Khan. That's it. Very, very small circle of people. I would assume that information like that is held under heavy lock and key. The other rumor is Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble and he goes to WrestleMania and he gets Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42 in the trilogy that nobody asked for. Again, I don't want to put my tinfoil cap on here, but all of this failing and coming up short, he even mentioned it tonight. And he's certainly written off television for the rest of the year. There's no reason to bring him back before the year's over. I genuinely wonder if WWE is setting up LA Knight to win the 2026 Royal Rumble. Now, I don't know if that's a possibility, given how he's been booked. His fanfare and his reactions do not dissipate. They do not lessen. They do not decrease. I mean, he was over as fuck tonight in Kansas City. He's over as fuck everywhere he goes. It is not let up in about 3 years now. The guy is over. The fans love him. The fans want to see more of him. The fans want to see him climb the highest mountain. The WWE says they're in tune, they're in sync with what the fans want. If you are a WWE fan and you watch the show weekly, then you're probably very appreciative of what LA Knight brings to the table. He plays a pseudo character that kind of dips into the Stone Cold pool, mixed with The Rock. And he brings his own brand of flair and enthusiasm and charismatic attitude to it. It's a great, great feel. And it's fun. And he's not boring. He's never boring. He's the type of guy that I think if you give the ball to let him run with it for a couple of months, I'm not even asking for a fucking 6-month title reign or a fucking 12-month title reign or one of these long drawn-out title reigns that Triple H loves to produce nowadays. We're not even asking for that. We're asking for something that gives this guy his fucking flowers after all the work that he's put in to get himself to this level. That's it. Give him a couple of months. Give him a couple of title defenses. Give him the fucking feel. Let him sit in the fucking seat. Let him feel what it feels like to be the fucking man. The guy has given you everything that he has. Give back to him. The guy has produced a lot of money for you. I'm sure he sold a lot of fucking t-shirts. Let's give back to him. Let's show some appreciation for all the hard work that he's done. Night in, night out, loyal. The company says they're in sync, they're in tune, they know what the fans want, they know better than anybody. Then if they're that smart, they would realize that the 26th version of what they're looking for, the 26th version of Jey Uso, just like this year, the 2026 version of whatever they need is LA Knight. I get that WWE's probably looking at this and fans are getting a little fucking agitated. They're getting frustrated. What are we doing? The more you continue to beat him and lessen his value, the fans are going to give up. You're at a point right now where the fans are going to give up on LA Knight. I see some people saying it's over. He's buried. Why do you want that circulating in and around your fan base? I don't get it. If the company is smart like they say they are, and they know better than the fans, then next year, you give this guy his fucking flowers, and you make something of what you've done all year. which is fucking beat him. And beat him, and beat him, and beat him, and beat him, and beat him. At some point, he's probably going to ask himself, what the fuck do I got to do? If you're WWE, how do you look at LA Knight and ask for more? What more could he give you? What? And this is coming from an LA Knight fan. Not the biggest LA Knight fan. But the guy obviously has put in the fucking work. You watch this show week in and week out, and you just know who's ready, who's not, who should be where, who should not be there. Who you're tired of, who you want to see more of. 2026 needs to focus on yet another guy. I've been mentioning on Friday night. 2026 needs to be the year of Carmelo Hayes. In a year where John Cena is retiring on Saturday. And the entire show is built around giving back to the future. Giving the future the spotlight. Then 2026 needs to be a year where WWE cultivates the young talent and pushes them up the ranks to start creating the future of this company. Obafemi, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, LA Knight. He's not as young as those guys. Some of those guys. But he needs to be in discussion. He needs to be in discussion for whatever he's done this year. He needs to be in discussion for rewarding him. Too much damage is being done to a character that the fans want to see more of, and the fans want to see get his just deserves. I genuinely don't know if that's going to happen. I feel for the LA Knight fans out there. Genuinely. We'll talk about what happened to him. He theoretically was written off television. I don't see him coming back at all for the rest of the year. Why? I don't know. His battle with the Vision continues. A battle that should have culminated in War Games, which he was not a part of. The Masked Man. He started LA Knight's terrible evening off by costing him a win against Logan Paul tonight in the main event. I see some people still on social media. I see content creators making videos about, who's the Masked Man? The Masked Man is not Seth Rollins. The Masked Man is not Chris Jericho. Don't know why WWE would be pushing a mystery character on television for a guy that theoretically is signed with another company for the next 3 weeks. I get that you need engagement, and you need those pennies on the dollar that Elon pays out every 3 weeks, but no, it's not Chris Jericho. It's not. The Masked Man seemingly is still Austin Theory. It's not Seth Rollins because it would be fucking ridiculous. If it was Seth Rollins, why would he have vacated the championship? Why would he have been kicked out of the Vision only to then help the Vision and then rejoin them after being kicked out? This is not some elaborate master plan. This is not a work. This is legitimate. Seth Rollins is injured. He's not the Masked Man. Jericho does not move the way that the Masked Man is moving. Sorry to tell you, Jericho looks great, but he's in his 50s and he doesn't move that well anymore. I don't know who else you guys think it is. The Brooklyn Brawler, Doink, Skinner. Some of you guys in the chat were saying Montez Ford. Could be Montez Ford. I don't fucking know. He would certainly fit the vision. But then Austin Theory would be shit out of luck. Because the plans involved Austin Theory to be in War Games. Then Rollins got hurt. And Jacob Fatu got hurt. And Austin Theory had to be removed because they had to put Lesnar and Rhodes and McIntyre inside the War Games to make it make sense, and Austin Theory was left on the sidelines. No, it's not Montez Ford. He could certainly fit into the vision. He very much fits in the vision of what the vision means and what the vision stands for. But no, this is not Montez Ford. It is Austin Theory. WWE is still stringing us along, and they're going to continue to string us along until we get to January 5th. And hopefully, WWE will reveal that the Masked Man helps Braun Breaker win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from CM Punk and reveals himself to be Austin Theory. But no, it is not Rollins. It is not Montez Ford. It's not Chris Jericho. It's not anybody else you think it is. It is very much Austin Theory. WWE wants you to think it's not who everybody thinks it is. I won't be surprised if WWE has a different fucking guy underneath the mask every single fucking time to throw us off the scent. Oh, that don't look like Austin Theory. I've seen some people saying that it wasn't the same guy that was at Survivor Series. Of course it's not going to be. WWE's going to play with you. They're going to toy with you. It doesn't have to be Austin Theory. It could be a different guy underneath the mask every single fucking week, and it doesn't have to be the guy that theoretically is under the mask. This is show business. The guy that it actually is doesn't need to be underneath the mask until the day of the reveal. So he was on the show twice tonight. The Usos. They got back into the tag team division, and this is the best move that WWE could have possibly made for both Jay and Jimmy Uso. The tag team division needed a boost, especially on Raw. And no, they're not going to fix the tag team division by just adding the Usos and getting the Usos back together on Monday night. Much, much, much more work needs to be done. But it gives the tag team division another team, a Hall of Fame team, one of the greatest teams ever. It gives the tag team division a solid team and a boost of momentum. More work needs to be done, though. I love the fact that Jey Uso is now back in the tag team ranks. He just wasn't working out as a singles guy anymore. They legitimately exhausted every single option for Jey Uso as a singles guy and told the story last week that he's frustrated and made mention that Roman Reigns said the belt would look better on him. He's right. And they told the story tonight of Jimmy seeing Jey all distraught last week, had a heart-to-heart and sit down with him, and they've come to a conclusion that they need to be together to win championship gold. We're struggling individually. We're better together. Basically what it boils down to. So we'll talk about that. The ladies got some solid action tonight. Kairi Sane versus IYO SKY. Stephanie Vaquer has the next challenger for the Women's World Championship. Nikki Bella, unfortunately, still wants another match. Nobody asked for it. Liv and Roxanne are now focusing on the tag team titles, which is a very interesting aspect. It's a nice switcheroo from what we got a couple of weeks ago. Tonight was a solid Monday Night Raw. And we got another match signed, sealed, and delivered for Saturday night's main event. One that could theoretically steal the entire show, and one that I am instantly invested in. We'll go over what that is and what Triple H should do when it comes to Saturday night's main event this Saturday on Peacock. This is your Monday Night Raw review. It is December 8th, 2025. Tonight we are powered by Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/scripts. Make sure you guys go out there and get anything you need this holiday season from Turtle Beach. 10% off all of your orders by using that code SCRIPTS. TurtleBeach.com/scripts. I want to thank them for powering the podcast tonight, right here for the Monday Night Raw Post Show. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Go and check out all the content on the channel. We got some great content up there. Tuesday Night Titans eclipsed 42,000 views. Thank you guys for that. We'll be live tomorrow night. We got a lot to talk about, man. We're going to talk about John Cena. We're going to talk about this Netflix, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Discovery debacle. We're going to talk about that great NXT show, Deadline, on Saturday. We got a lot to talk about. I don't believe the year is almost over, man. It's crazy. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to be doing next year. What we want to do, where we want to go. I don't know how I get there, but we got to make things happen. Tomorrow night, we'll be live with the Solid Monster. Wednesday, I'll be live on Dynamite for the post show. Friday, SmackDown. And then Saturday is going to be a big night, folks. Everyone's excited for this show. Saturday night's main event, John Cena versus Gunther, will headline Saturday night's main event on December 13th. Right now, there's 4 matches. It's going to be a big night. Going to be an emotional night. I'll be here to cover it all with you guys and celebrate John Cena's career on Saturday night. Hit that thumbs up down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Leave a comment down below as well. Let me know what you thought of tonight's Monday Night Raw. And super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. As always, it's the best way to support what we do right here on the podcast. Let's end the year with the best December ever. And you guys hold the power for that to happen. So super chats are open. Get them on and we'll hang out at the end of the show. As always, right here on the Monday Night Raw Post Show. We'll start at the top here. Gunther. He made his way out. And this was the final address for Gunther before he wrestles John Cena on Saturday. Can I just say, if you don't like Gunther's presentation with his now new old music, I think there's something wrong with you, bro. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, man, that is going to be the fucking most epic visual with that music playing. Coming down the aisle for John Cena's last match, bro. He's going to be wearing that fucking boxing robe. He's going to be coming down the aisle, all epic. I mean, I understand that there are people close to Cena. There are probably people that work within WWE that don't think Gunther really needs this, that he's already a made man. Which is why I am feeling that John Cena actually beats Gunther. Gunther doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. He's probably going to turn right back around, have a great Royal Rumble, and go on to wrestle Brock Lesnar and beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. The whole Lesnar and Cena thing didn't even make fucking sense, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you could get into the... You can get down into the fucking bare analytics to that. You know? Well, if Brock Lesnar beat John Cena in 9 minutes, how come Gunther can't do it? I understand that. I genuinely don't think WWE even wants to recall that match even happened. It was for ESPN. It was to make their streaming partner in ESPN happy. It was a complete and colossal waste of time. It honestly did nothing. They never talked about it again. It went nowhere. It led to nothing. Just another thing in the line of bad things that happened in the final year of John Cena's WWE career. Which mostly, they fucked up. Gunther's going to make his entrance on Saturday, and it's going to be fucking epic. He comes down and there's chants of, "We want Cena, we want Cena." Gunther told them, "Don't get your hopes up because he's not here." He said, "John Cena is the greatest sports entertainer of all time, but he's the greatest pro wrestler." I mean, it's tough to argue when Gunther says he's the greatest pro wrestler. He says he's going to force John Cena to give up, describing in detail how he'll squeeze the last bit of hustle, loyalty, and respect out of Cena. He said he'll force him to do the one thing he vowed to never do: give up. Now, John Cena is hustle, loyalty, and respect. He never gives up. John Cena has not given up in almost 20 years. That is quite the record. He's on quite the stretch. Gunther, if he does make John Cena tap out, he will not be the first to do it. Now, we have to go back to July 4th of 2002 on an episode of SmackDown. Chris Jericho, in a post-match attack after a DQ win for Cena, visibly tapped out to the walls of Jericho. By the way, this is all in his Thugonomics era heel character. This is not the hustle, loyalty, and respect John Cena that we've seen as the second coming of Hulk Hogan. So he visibly tapped out in a non-match, post-match attack after a DQ win to Chris Jericho. No Mercy, October 19th, 2003, singles match between him and Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. Ankle lock. He tapped out to the ankle lock. SmackDown, December 2nd, 2003. Number one contendership triple threat match with The Big Show and Chris Benoit. John Cena tapped out to the crippler crossface. And then Kurt Angle, No Way Out, February 15th, 2004. Number one contendership triple threat. Also included The Big Show, ankle lock. Kurt Angle tapped him out twice. And Kurt Angle is the only wrestler in WWE to tap Cena out twice. So as of now, Cena's retirement match against Gunther on December 13th, the last time that he tapped out was to Kurt Angle, February 15th, 2004. We're nearing 20 years since John Cena has said the words, "I quit." I don't think that happens. I don't think that happens. Now, clearly, WWE is not going to tell us that it happened because they're trying to tell a story. I don't think the fans now that want to see Cena retire genuinely care about what had happened back in 2003 or 2004. But this is the job of us content creators who take notes on this shit and give you the statistics and give you the backing to everything that you're watching. So that's what they want you to think. That Cena has never said the words, "I quit." Or Cena's never tapped out. Gunther is not going to make Cena tap out. I just don't see it happening. I don't. I thought Cena would lose to Gunther weeks ago. But now that we got the story and now that we're getting the verbalization of Gunther, and we've gotten some people that come out verbally and publicly stating that they don't think Gunther deserves this or they don't think Gunther needs this, I don't think John Cena loses his final match. I don't. Coupled with the fact that John Cena also lost to Dominic Mysterio at Survivor Series, I just also can't see him losing his last two PLE matches. This is like a mini PLE, honestly. He lost his PLE match against Dominic, and then he's going to lose his final match? I just don't see that happening. He said he'll force him to do the one thing that he's never vowed to do, give up. He left to his ring music, and they showed a countdown clock on the screen showing the days, hours, and minutes and seconds until Cena's final match. I'm excited for this. And again, I have to reiterate, you may not like Gunther for whatever reason that you are pushing. If there's one thing that is absolute dog shit, and it's fucking not even an opinion, it's just sheer stupidity, it's these fucking people that come on social media and claim Gunther is boring, Gunther can't wrestle, Gunther is this, Gunther is that. The only thing that I agree with is that the tournament was predictable. Now, I don't think WWE really gave it the excitement that it needed. I don't. We got some great wrestling in the tournament, mostly from Gunther, but that's about it. We got a Nick Nemeth surprise. We got a Zack Ryder surprise. We got a we got Javon Evans. We'll talk about Leon Slater in a little bit. Javon Evans in the tournament. Carmelo Hayes had a great showing. But I mean, that's just a handful of things that happened in a 16-man tournament. It should have been so much bigger. It should have been so much more full of life and fun and unpredictability. It wasn't. Whether you want to agree with it or not, Gunther's the right guy. Braun Breaker is a young guy. Braun Breaker's going after the World Heavyweight Championship. He's got his own big boy things to take care of. Carmelo Hayes. I just don't see, no matter how much we love Carmelo Hayes, I just don't see WWE putting Carmelo Hayes on the marquee of John Cena's final match. I don't think that they think Carmelo is ready for that yet. Carmelo better have a big year, and that better be in the cards for WWE Creative in 26. Genuinely, who else is left? Who? The only other name that it could have possibly been, the only other name, and they gave you these names in the year that we've seen so far. The only other name that it could have been, and they could have saved it for this, but they didn't, was AJ Styles. That was it. Back earlier in the year, we talked about maybe Randy Orton being his final opponent. Maybe CM Punk being his final opponent. Those guys don't need it either. Everybody was talking about Orton and Punk and Sheamus. Do any of those guys need it? So now that when we get Gunther as the official last match, I genuinely ask, where did all those people back earlier in the year who were predicting and claiming and wanting and hoping for a Punk Cena final match, or a Cena Orton, or a Cena Sheamus? But now all of a sudden you got a problem with Gunther. I don't really understand the logic behind that. Wishy-washy pro wrestling fans. Everybody else is tied up doing something else. Jey Uso is not the guy. He's not. WWE clearly had other plans for the young kids on NXT. Obafemi and Javon Evans and everybody else down there. Ricky Saints. AJ Styles wrestled Cena at Crown Jewel. CM Punk wrestled Cena at Night of Champions. Randy Orton wrestled John Cena at Backlash. Dominic Mysterio also is not the guy that should be on the marquee against John Cena in his final match. He's just not big of a star yet. He's on his way, but he's not. He's not as big as Gunther. So again, I ask, when you boil the names down to who it realistically could have been, who did you really want? And who do you think fits better in this role other than Gunther? There is nobody. Don't sit there and pretend like this is not going to be a big deal. Don't sit there and pretend like this isn't going to be a great match. Gunther has had 4 of the best matches in this entire tournament. John Cena is not going to sit on his ass and fucking smoke and mirror his way to a match like he did with Dominic at Survivor Series with Gunther. You're going to get the Cena that showed up at SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes in the Night 2 main event. You're going to get the John Cena that showed up in Paris against Logan Paul. You're going to get the Cena that showed up in Australia against AJ Styles. That's the Cena you're going to get on Saturday. I would be shocked if that isn't the case. This guy has one match left. You don't think that John Cena is going to give us, after 22 years, everything else that he has left in that fucking tank? This is it. He is going to go out there and fucking bare his soul, physically and verbally, on Saturday night. And if you don't enjoy it, that's a you problem. I'm not concerned with it. I don't give a fuck what you like and what you don't like. I'm here for it. I'm here for Gunther. And again, I need to reiterate, Gunther doesn't have bad matches, ever. Go and find me a bad Gunther match. You'll be old and gray before you come back and find me one match where Gunther doesn't fit the bill. It's a simple story. It's all they could do in the span of 2 weeks after the tournament concluded. How can we sell this match? Hustle, loyalty, respect. Never give up. I'm going to do the one thing that John Cena has made a career off of. Never give up. I'm going to make him give up. You don't need to overthink it. It's exactly what he is and should be out there doing. And I'm looking forward to it. We got Obafemi. He was shown at ringside holding up the NXT title belt with Ricky Saints nameplates on the panels of the title, the side plates. Obafemi will be going one-on-one with Cody Rhodes this Saturday at Saturday night's main event. Obafemi beat Ricky Saints to regain the NXT World Championship in what I thought was a solid match. They actually opened the show with that match on what was it, Saturday night? Deadline. They opened the show with that match, and Oba won the title back. I was actually kind of in favor of Oba winning the match on Saturday. I just didn't see Ricky Saints beating Obafemi twice. I just didn't. But the attraction of Cody Rhodes versus Ricky Saints, not only for what their relationship is and what their bond is behind closed doors. I mean, they're very good friends behind closed doors. But, I mean, just to add to the pettiness of it all, Cody versus Ricky, I could see WWE wanting to take a shot at AEW. Look at us. Look at these guys. Where'd they come from? Now they're with us, you know? The Cody and Oba match presents a very interesting, intriguing aspect. Oba is wrestling his first main roster match against the WWE champion. That alone speaks volumes. I mean, that alone tells you what WWE thinks of Obafemi. Cody Rhodes and Obafemi on Saturday night's main event on the night that Cena is retiring and he was asked to be a part of it. The ruler. He's on his way to being that. I genuinely think that Obafemi will beat Cody Rhodes, but he will have Drew McIntyre's help to do it. I think that's how they sell us on another match between McIntyre and Rhodes, because it's definitely happening. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I think McIntyre gets involved, and I think Obafemi beats Cody Rhodes. You want to put over the future. Cena can't do it all by himself. He needs his friends to help him along the way. I'm not asking for everybody on that show to put over the young guys and the young girls. But Obafemi beating Cody Rhodes is the right decision. It's a non-title match. You can protect Cody Rhodes along the way. Why not take a risk and have Oba beat Cody Rhodes. Then he can drop the title to Javon Evans on New Year's Eve, and Javon Evans can win the World Championship, and then Obafemi could get called up right in time for the Royal Rumble. Does that make sense, chat? Does that sound good, chat? Javon Evans beats the ruler, becomes the man, wins the NXT Championship. Oba gets called up just in time for a Rumble appearance. And he goes to SmackDown, where his first program will be Drew McIntyre. I don't think McIntyre wins the World Championship. I don't. We're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania. I just don't see McIntyre winning the World Championship. If it happened in November, then maybe. But we're looking at another match, a third match, and I just don't see it happening. I don't. So he was at ringside. They hyped up that match on Saturday. IYO versus Kairi Sane opened the show. This was very good. The ladies usually end up bringing it. IYO's great. Rhea's great. Asuka, Kairi are great. Everybody is operating at a very high level right now. IYO, we'll pick it up right before the commercial break. We're about to go for a dive, but Asuka leapt onto the apron to block it. Kairi was distracting the referee. IYO went after Asuka, but Asuka dropped the rope and IYO spilled to the outside. Rhea Ripley comes on over and confronts Asuka. And Sane used the distraction to knock down IYO with a leaping forearm off the apron. So IYO fights back. And they come back from the break, and she hits a springboard missile dropkick, corner Meteora, the bullet train for 2. IYO sets up for moonsault, but Kairi quickly went up to block it. Followed with a double foot stomp for 2, as IYO held herself upside down in the corner. Kairi tried a backdrop on the apron, but IYO landed on her feet. Kairi didn't notice, so IYO gave her a German suplex on the apron. IYO followed up with an Asai moonsault. Back in the ring, IYO set up for her over the moonsault. Kairi with a distraction, allowing Asuka to interfere again, this time knocking IYO off the top rope as she was looking to end the match. Ripley had enough of this shit and dumped Asuka into the timekeeper's area. Kairi failed to take advantage of this nonsense. IYO hits over the moonsault for a pinfall win. Kairi leapt into, not Kairi, but IYO leapt into Rhea Ripley's arms to celebrate the victory. And they, at least for now, take care of the Kabuki Warriors. And they now have their eyes set on the Women's Tag Team Championship. They're setting up for something. Whatever they're setting up for is going to culminate in a big match on January 5th on Monday Night Raw when we celebrate the one-year anniversary of Raw on Netflix. First Raw of 2026. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a multi-woman match, maybe a gauntlet match. Maybe it's just a standard 2-on-2 match, and we'll figure out who the number one contender is along the way. I don't know. But they're setting up for something, and there will be a women's tag team title match on that first Raw of the new year. I can almost guarantee it. Logan Paul. He's been on TV now. I'm keeping track of this. He's been on TV now for 3 straight weeks. He was at Survivor Series. He showed up on Raw last week, and he was on Raw this week. So 3 straight weeks of WWE TV for Logan Paul. One of the criticisms of adding Logan Paul to the vision is that, and I believe this, and I agree with this, you cannot have a part-time member of the Vision who is going to be there whenever he sees fit. If Logan is going to fit into the group, which he very much does, and I very much enjoy him on television in this group because he fits, it makes sense. If he's going to be in the group, he needs to be on television. Whether he likes it or not, he is now a full-time WWE star. He is in a major faction. The biggest faction in the company, with the biggest plans heading into WrestleMania. He needs to be on television, and he needs to be integrated in everything that they do. It would look off if he is not there. They could come up with an excuse once in a while for him to not be there, but he needs to be there every week. He approached the Vision backstage, and he's in their locker room. I actually enjoyed this banter with all of them. Paul Heyman was chatting to Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and Logan Paul walked in and said something needs to be done about what Rey Mysterio did last week. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed seemed a little upset at Logan Paul, so they get up and said, listen, you want us to take care of it, we'll take care of it. Who's Rey Mysterio? You want us to beat his ass, we'll beat his ass. Logan told Heyman, listen, can I talk to you over here? Pulls him to the side. Like, we really need to take care of this Rey Mysterio problem. Heyman said, listen, we're going to take care of Rey Mysterio. You have backup. Now you have backup. Then you didn't have backup, but now you have backup. Logan says he's their backup too, if and when they need him. Heyman gave Logan his brass knuckles and said, use this just in case. Logan left, and then Heyman said, I like this guy. I'm sorry, man. I really like this guy. I don't know if that came off a little weird to you guys, but I hope it doesn't really result in a temporary alignment. I very much like Logan Paul in the division. You know, I think with him, Breaker, Reed, and then Theory, it just works. He's young enough and he's talented enough where if you're going to create a stable that is revolving around the future of the company, I genuinely think he needs to be there. So I like his fit, and I honestly feel like with him on the show and in the vision, it just gives them, it also gives them a much needed star power where right now, you know, they don't really have that in Breaker. He's not there yet. He's going to be there, but he's not there yet. Reed doesn't have it. Austin Theory's not going to have it. They needed that big guy. And Logan Paul is that big guy. He gets the right amount of heat. He's a great wrestler. So I very much like what he brings to the table here. Rey Mysterio is walking through the back and walked by Adam Pearce, who was literally screaming his head off at the New Day. I don't know what for, but usually when Triple H does stuff like this, it leads to something else happening on the show or happening in the future. Rey Mysterio was coming on out, and he was supposed to wrestle Finn Balor. Well, he did not wrestle Finn Balor because that Logan Paul situation that we just saw, he immediately took care of the Rey Mysterio problem. Logan attacked him from behind as he made his entrance. He pulled out the brass knuckles and wound up for a big swing, but Rey blocked it with the drop kick and then set up for 619. All of a sudden, the mystery man, the masked man who helped the Vision win at War Games, he attacked Rey Mysterio. Barrett said the mystery man still has mannerisms of Seth Rollins, but they know Rollins just had shoulder surgery. So the mystery man fled through the crowd to the back after attacking Rey. As the referee helped Rey up to his feet, Logan punched Rey with the brass knuckles. He then started posing an LA Knight. After Rey Mysterio, poor Rey Mysterio, gets his ass beat, now LA Knight wants to come on out and save the day. So Tessitore yelled just in time. Wade Barrett, a little bit more of the realistic one here, said it was just a little bit too late as the damage was already done to Rey Mysterio. Where was he? So LA Knight said Rey is a legend and he's pissed off. He said things haven't been going his way, but it's time to make Logan pay. He doesn't want him to pay on Wednesday. He doesn't want him to pay on Friday. He doesn't want him to pay on Saturday. He wants him to pay on Monday, right here in KC. Yeah. So we got a match later tonight between Logan Paul and LA Knight. This is a rematch from SummerSlam last year. Tessitore announced that Dwayne Johnson was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Male Actor for his role in The Smashing Machine. It's exactly what Dwayne wanted. He's got a bunch of movies coming out. And this one he was so high on, he was hoping to get a Golden Globe nomination. And now he has it. And as soon as he wins one, I think we're going to start to see a little bit more of a different vibe when it comes to Dwayne in Hollywood. You're going to see him take more roles like the roles that we've seen in the Smashing Machine, which I have not seen yet. I very much want to see it. I don't know where he's going to fit in, if he's going to fit in on WWE programming, but I've seen some people saying that, I see my guy Baydala tonight on Twitter say that we could realistically see Dwayne on Saturday. I don't think we see Dwayne on Saturday. I don't know where he came to that conclusion. I don't think it really makes sense for Dwayne to be involved. I think Dwayne did way too much damage for him to even be involved here. If Dwayne's going to show up, have him show up closer to WrestleMania and get involved with Cody and Roman if that is indeed the direction. So he is nominated for a Golden Globe, and I'm genuinely curious if he actually wins the award. AJ Styles. Him and Dragon Lee are the tag team champions. They defended the titles tonight against the War Raiders. This was just another match to add to the show because, in story, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee want to be fighting champions and they want to defend their tag team championships. Sounds very much like what Ilya Dragunov is doing on SmackDown with the United States Championship. The only problem is when you get to the end, you're eventually going to run through everybody and then start the process all over again. So this is what WWE does when they're basically running out of ideas or don't have any ideas at all. Let's do an open challenge. Let's have Dragunov run through everybody. Let's have Dragunov beat everybody. Let's have AJ and Dragon Lee run through everybody in the tag team division. Before you know it, within a month and a half, there is nobody for them to fight anymore. WWE announced before this match, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will be at Saturday night's main event in a tag team match against Javon Evans and Leon Slater, the TNA X Division champion. Now, I don't know how you guys feel, but we are looking at a fucking banger. Remember when Leon Slater was here in New York City at the UBS Arena at Slammiversary and AJ Styles, well, when was it? Yeah, it was after the Moose match when AJ Styles showed up and put over Leon Slater as the X Division champion and the future of the X Division. Everybody was like, well, he's there for a reason. They may be headed towards a match between Leon Slater and AJ Styles, passing of the torch. Typical of WWE to not give TNA that match, but then just hold it for themselves to do here. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. That's Saturday night's main event. This may be the match of the night. I am very much looking forward to what all four of those guys bring to the table. We are going to get bouncy, chat, on Saturday night. Very much looking forward to that. AJ Styles is the slowest man in that match. Let that sink in, says Gone 021 in the chat. That is fucking a weird way to look at it, but you are actually correct. AJ wants to retire next year because he doesn't want to embarrass himself. Well, this is certainly a fucking test if I ever seen one. We'll see how much AJ still has left in the tank against Javon Evans and Leon Slater. We're about to be eating good on Saturday night, chat. I can't wait to share all of that with you. Low key, by the way, this is shaping up to be one of the best cards that WWE's done all year. And I put it out there on social media, and I got people acting as if they're working for TKO and working as a WWE advisor of sorts. I said, Paul needs to add another match. Let's not stop at just 4. Oh, well, JD, they only have a 2-hour block, JD. I'm sorry, this is John Cena's retirement. Why don't you think that they should be, could be, would be afforded extra time? Why do we need to stop at 4 matches?
Oh, but John Cena and Gunther are gonna go 30 minutes, JD.
That's great. I don't give a fuck how long they go. 3 minutes, 13 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't give a fuck how long they go. Enough for the 4-match format. You want to build towards the future. Where's the Jordan Grace? Where's the Jada Parker? Where's the Tony D'Angelo? Where's an Ethan Page? Where's a Blake Monroe? Where's a Jordan Grace? Where's a Zarya? How many more names on NXT deserve a spot on that show? Yeah, let's stop at 4 matches. Let's stop at 4 matches. If CM Punk was back on television, I'd say let's book CM Punk versus Ricky Saints. Imagine that. That was once upon a time the finals of the Owen Hart tournament a couple years ago. Don't you think Blake Monroe versus Tiffany Stratton would be a great addition to the show? Don't you think Ethan Page versus Ilya Dragunov would be a great addition to the show? I don't know, fans, chat, folks. I don't know.
Oh, but it's gonna be a 2-hour show, JD.
Fuck your 2-hour show. Everybody complains about the 4-match format. Now I got people fucking claiming that it should only be 4 matches. What are you, fucking mental? The show is on Peacock. There's no commercials. Yeah, let's keep it to 4 matches. Nobody's asking for a 16-match show. I just want 5 fucking matches. Do you mind? 5 matches. Very similar to what we got with TakeOver Black and Gold back in the day. 4 matches is too little. 6 matches may be too much. 5 matches is perfect. 5. Let me do it in the way that Paul Levesque would maybe understand. 5 matches, like the count on Sesame Street. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 matches. Ha, 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 ha. Maybe somebody needs to bring in Count Dracula. Or the Count. To give Paul Levesque a lesson. Maybe he doesn't know. LA Knight is the masked man? How is LA Knight the masked man if the masked man attacked LA Knight tonight? The fuck are you smoking? Five. That's what I'm going to do from now on. Every time we run into this situation, I'm just going to count like the Count on Sesame Street. Sesame Street Levesque over there. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know how you guys felt about this tag team match. I enjoyed this. I thought this was slightly sloppy. Maybe it was because Dragon Lee tried to pick up Ivar 3 different times and it just didn't work out. I don't know. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Grayson Waller. They were outside by commentary watching this match. Invested in what was going to happen because they want their tag team titles back. Eric and Ivar blocked early dive attempts by Styles and Dragon Lee. Eric drove Dragon Lee into the barricade. Ivar squashes Styles into the side of the ring, and we go into a commercial break. They worked over Styles until Dragon Lee got a hot tag. He ran wild after a break. Eric hanging upside down on the ropes. Trying to pull himself up, but Dragon Lee hits that double foot stomp. There was a spot where Dragon Lee tried to hoist up Ivar onto his shoulders for whatever the fuck he was planning, but he collapsed. The crowd cheered for the second time because Lee actually got Ivar on his shoulders again, and he stumbled. Ivar tried to make up for it, pretending to counter, but Dragon Lee tried for a third time, and he hit what looked to be a Death Valley driver, and it looked terrible. And the crowd here was cheering him on because, I mean, look at Dragon Lee and then look at Ivar. So everybody was cheering like it was some unbelievable feat of strength. And then when he didn't do it, it was clearly a fucking botch. But the crowd was very forgiving here because he at least attempted it and got him up. And he couldn't hold it up. He dropped him. I don't know what they were going for. Like I said, it looked like a DVD, but then he tried to sell the back. And Ivar started to punch away at Dragon Lee and tried to save the 3 failed spots. Dragon Lee continued to fight off both Ivar and Eric until Ivar power slammed him outside the ring. Ivar followed with a beautiful moonsault. Styles barely broke up the cover there. Eric got a 2 count on Styles with a big jumping knee strike. Moments later, Styles used a Hurricane Runner to bring Ivar off the top rope. Ivar collided with Eric on the way down. Dragon Lee wiped out Eric with a dive, and Styles hit Ivar with a phenomenal forearm. The 1, 2, 3, and they retain the tag team championships. Wasn't boring. It was good, but it wasn't the best match that Styles and Lee have had. There looked to be some minor miscommunications in this match. So they retain 12 minutes or so. The New Day and Grayson Waller approach AJ Styles and Dragon Lee in the ring. And all of a sudden, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso come down through the crowd. They enter together. They yeet and yeet and yeet. The New Day, Styles, and Dragon Lee wait patiently in the ring for all of this nonsense to conclude. Jimmy Uso says something about them having a big announcement. And, you know, we get this, and we get the run back, and Jay's got to go up to the top rope again, and he does the yeet. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. Just fucking stupid. Jimmy Uso says that the Usos are back in the tag team division. They've been getting hit hard the past few months. They lost at War Games and at WrestlePalooza. Jay lost his world title and lost in the Cena tournament. Jimmy saw his brother crashing out last week, and he knew he had to do something. He called Jay in the middle of the night and asked him what they need to do about it. Jay says that they need to get back to being us. They would block out the noise, body them all, and put the tag team division on notice. The best damn tag team is now in your city, says Uso. We need gold. We need gold, Us. Usos meant no disrespect to AJ and Dragon Lee, but said Styles and Lee didn't know the Usos. But the New Day certainly did. Usos got in the face of Kingston and Woods and compared their rivalry to Ali and Frazier. Compared their rivalry to Rock and Austin. You know, it would mean something if the New Day weren't fucking as cold as the fucking iceberg that the Titanic crashed into. Usos turned their attentions to Styles and Lee until the New Day tried to attack from behind, and the Usos took care of the New Day and threw Kingston and Woods outside the ring. Grayson Waller wanted nothing to do with the New Day. Or the Usos. I don't know why he's with the New Day. He didn't want anything to do with the Usos after they dispatched of the New Day, so he leaves. He wants nothing to do with them. Usos faced off with Styles and Dragon Lee as the segment came to an end. You know, I'm wishing and wishing and wishing upon a star. Clearly, we have the roadblock that will be for AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, the Usos. I hope that the WWE doesn't get back to just putting the Usos in the tag team division and immediately giving them the tag team titles. I don't know what that's going to result in. I don't know what you think that's going to do. That's not going to have any fix whatsoever over the tag team division. All right, let's give the Usos the tag team championships because everybody loves to yeet. Now, we got some major fucking problems. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are not a legit tag team. They're acting as one. So putting the tag team championships on them has everybody blinded that they're an actual tag team. They're not. They're two singles guys acting as a tag team because there are no existing teams in the Monday Night Raw division. So they're there by default. You got the War Raiders, who basically get no reaction and are losers. You got the New Day, who are as cold as fucking ice. The Usos. Who else you got? The New Day, 4. You got the Judgment Day, 5. Who else you got? What happened to Los Garza? Where's Santos Escobar? Who else is in this? Where are the Creeds? What are we doing to fix the tag team division? Now, like I mentioned before, I was wishing and wishing upon a star, hopefully. I know this will never come to be. But I was hoping with AJ and Dragon Lee wanting to come out and defend the tag team titles every week and be defending champions. Even Adam Pearce says, I like fighting champions. I was hoping that they would run through the entire Raw division, find themselves on SmackDown until they eventually get to the tag team champions on SmackDown. And then come WrestleMania, maybe we kind of undo all the nonsense that we gave us when Triple H de-unified the tag team championships to make 2 separate championships for Raw and SmackDown. You know, we once upon a time operated with one singular WWE Tag Team Championship. That's what I was hoping for. They beat everybody on Raw. They go to SmackDown, find more competition over there, beat everybody over there until they run into the tag team champions around WrestleMania time. Now, again, that's wishful thinking. But now we got the Usos. You see where this is headed, chat. You see where this is unfortunately headed. But I will say the Usos being back together is the right move. Jay was not cutting it as a singles guy. They have exhausted literally every aspect of a Jay Uso singles run. The guy has become nothing but an entrance merchant. We don't need to see it. There's nobody on that roster in a singles capacity that I want to see feud with Jey Uso. He's been the world champion. He's been the intercontinental champion. There's nothing more for him to do. He's achieved everything that you need to. He doesn't need to do anything else. The tag team division is weak. Jey Uso is weak. Jimmy Uso is weak. Together, they are not weak. They make the tag team division better. But again, I must reiterate, the Usos being back together does not make the tag team division, complete. There's a lot more work to be done. Now, I don't know what's going on with this. All of a sudden, a highlight of tag team wrestling in WWE. Usos are back together. The ladies now are kind of lighting it up in the tag team division. WWE's really focusing on that. Again, conspiracy or not, AEW is about to crown the first ever women's tag team champions. AEW's men's tag team division has largely been the best thing on their fucking television show in a sea of absolute garbage. I wonder if WWE is paying attention to what AEW is doing and they're looking to make it better than AEW. Well, how come they're doing that better than us? Let's fix that. They seemingly moved on from tag team wrestling and really make it a non-focus. It was a non-issue on this show. First it was, and then it wasn't, and now it is all over again. The men's division still needs a lot of work, but the Usos being back together does strengthen the division. But just don't sit there and think that this is the fix. No, it's not. It's not the fix. Merging the divisions and making one singular championship is the fix. If they do that and you have a collective of both brands mixed with all those teams into one, then you got a rockin' division. They ran down the Saturday night's main event card. Right now, as of right now, I hope they add a fifth. For all you fucking four-match merchants out there, kiss my fucking asshole. John Cena versus Gunther. John Cena's last match. Bayley versus Sol Ruka. Non-title match. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. And Cody Rhodes will wrestle Oba Femi in a non-title match. WWE Champion versus NXT Champion. Stephanie Vaquer. She was out in the ring, and they're attempting to give this woman another promo in the middle of the ring. Jackie Redmond in the middle of the ring, excited to introduce Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie comes on out. Jackie asked what was next for her after she did what she did to Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. She said she was going to do what she was going to do, and she destroyed Nikki Bella at Survivor Series. I wouldn't say destroyed. I wouldn't necessarily say she destroyed Nikki Bella. Stephanie said she isn't one to do a lot of talking, but rather speaks through actions. She did go on to say, and this is where, WWE may not ever admit that they pay attention to the hearsay on social media. She doesn't talk much. She speaks with her actions. She wanted to face everyone, and she is the best. And she's better than everybody, and it's not because of the devil's kiss. They sent Stephanie Vaquer out in a in-ring segment for promo to tell everybody that she's better than the devil's kiss. What was the criticism as of the last few weeks? That Stephanie Vaquer and WWE specifically is having Stephanie Vaquer rely too much on the devil's kiss where it's all anybody waited for. I find that to be fucking unbelievable. Not an unbelievable, oh my God, that's great. But it's unbelievable how you got Stephanie Vaquer, who a lot of people say is one of the best women's wrestlers on the entire fucking planet, and you have watered her down to being a one-move merchant. It's all anybody waits for. You turned her into a fucking act instead of a professional wrestler. So the fact that she went out there and said that she's better than everybody, and it's not because of the devil's kiss. WWE loves to say that they don't care about social media, but Jesus Christ, man, you can tell that they are all over social media, and they hear the murmurs. They hear the murmurs. Otherwise, they wouldn't have Stephanie go out there and say that. Stephanie said Nikki Bella was a legend, but the women's division was different than what it was 15 years ago. Isn't that the truth? Rhea Ripley, Bayley, Natalya, IYO SKY, they're all amazing. Stephanie asked Bella if she knew who was on top. Unfortunately, Nikki Bella interrupted. She comes on out wearing black and red because she's heel and she needs to wear black. Called herself a legend, a Hall of Famer. She got in some guy's face when she said she's a Hall of Famer, and the guy audibly said, "No, you're not." A Hall of Famer and a celebrity, and she was not done with Stephanie Vaquer. Nikki demanded a rematch. No one asked for this. Raquel Rodriguez suddenly hopped on the apron and yanked Bella off the apron and lawn darted her into the ring post. Now, Nikki sold the shit out of this, and this looked like a great spot, and nobody reacted to it because nobody gives a shit about either Raquel Rodriguez or Nikki Bella. Raquel Rodriguez, she gets reactions when she's mixed in with the Judgment Day. When she's by herself, it's a little bit more of a task to ask the fans to care. Rodriguez confronted Stephanie. She spoke in Spanish. She's told her to name the time and the place so she could kick her ass and take the title. Raquel Rodriguez is not going to be the new women's champion, and she will not be defeating Stephanie Vaquer. All of this is just temporary until we get to the Royal Rumble and we get, hopefully, some solid WrestleMania plans for this woman heading into the biggest year, hopefully, for her and that title. And it's WWE's biggest season. Hopefully, they got plans in store for her that's equal WrestleMania season. Byron Saxton interviewed Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile. She appeared with the Creeds, who have been off television for many, many, many months. Ivy Nile has an IC title shot against Maxine Dupree next week. Nile didn't care that Natalya, her old friend, was training Maxine. She said Dupree would drop the ball just like the Kansas City Chiefs did yesterday. Boo! Yeah, because nothing sells like real heat in a city where you can make fun of their football team losing. Ivy Nile hasn't wrestled since June, yet she's been granted a championship match against Maxine Dupree. The Judgment Day met backstage. Finn Balor was incredibly happy that he didn't need to wrestle tonight. The Rey Mysterio problem was taken care of him by Logan Paul and the Masked Man. Balor was all smiles. He was talking to Dominic Mysterio, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan backstage. It's an easy night. Liv told Raquel, who walked in, that she was surprised she didn't say anything before challenging Stephanie. So Raquel said, well, I didn't know I had to run everything by you first. The first sign of the crack in the Judgment Day armor was that sentence. Liv is acting like the leader, like the de facto leader of the Judgment Day. Finn didn't see it. Didn't say anything about it tonight. Dominic didn't care, but Raquel, who is Liv's old partner, asked Liv, well, why do I got to ask you? We're the Judgment Day. We're a family. I'm assuming the discussion of there are no leaders in the Judgment Day is going to be brought up. Liv says, no, I didn't mean anything like that about it. But I look forward to seeing you become the world champion. And then Raquel like, oh, thanks. Liv said she's going to be in Perez's corner tonight. Perez says, well, that's great, but why do I need you in my corner? Liv said if Raquel's going after the singles championship, then we're going to go after the tag team titles. Dom and Balor says, oh, look at that. They're bonding. And they like it. Yeah, I don't think that bonding is going to last very long. I don't. I think there will be issues there. What issues and when, that remains to be seen. But this is just a nice piece of the pizza pie here. We got a whole other 7 slices to go. With Raquel asking, well, why do I need to ask you to go get a championship match? Can't I just do that on my own? Who the fuck are you? That's just one sign in a long string of signs that we'll be seeing. Triple H is going to drag this shit out. The Judgment Day didn't really have any, not like previous weeks. I mean, they usually get 3 or 4 segments on a show. They were kind of minimized this week. We only got this Judgment Day segment and then this Roxanne Perez match with Liv Morgan. So this match went 11 minutes. This wasn't bad at all. I thought this was actually better than the opening match. Actually, I wouldn't say that. I thought IYO and Kairi was better, but this was also very good. So the ladies really brought it tonight. This match went about 10 minutes, and the bell rang. We go right into a commercial break, obviously, with WWE in the first 90 seconds of the match. That's what's typical of WWE on television. They go right into a commercial break. So Morgan distracted the referee so Roxanne Perez could rake Lyra's eyes And she's set up for the Pop Rocks. Bailey's out there. Sol Ruka was in the crowd. They're selling that. Sol Ruka will meet Bailey on Saturday night at Saturday Night's Main Event. So Bailey knocked Liv Morgan down. So Perez kicked Bailey down. Perez countered a roll-up attempt and shoved Lyra into the ropes. Morgan was still down on the apron, but she was alert to what was going on, and she kicked Lyra in the face as she was tossed into the ropes. And the ref clearly didn't see this. Perez took advantage of this interference. Liv Morgan helped Roxanne win as she hit Pop Rocks off of this distraction, and she pins Lyra 1, 2, 3. The kick from Morgan didn't look good. It looked like mostly it missed. It was one of them grazing, glancing blows. It didn't look like it should have blinded Lyra to a point where she ended up walking right into a Pop Rocks and then into a loss here by Roxanne Perez. But this was fine. They were having a nice match, and then we get the sloppy interference at the end, and the heels win. No more, no less. Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan are going after the tag team championships. I'm assuming we're going to get a Lyra and Bailey versus Roxanne and Liv tag team match before we get to that point. They're really selling us on the tag team division. Still trying to figure out why. After all these years and all these months, why now? You do know by focusing on the tag team division that you're actually taking away from your great champion, Stephanie Vaquer, where you're now left with fucking Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez. Not really a great run for Stephanie Vaquer as champion. Not really her fault. It's not as bad as Julia on Friday with the United States title, but we need to do a little bit better there. That's why they got everybody in the fucking tag team division. They got everybody tied up, and it's leaving Stephanie with fucking scraps. It's ridiculous. They aired another vignette. These are really good. And I'm excited to see this Natty character. Another Natalya, Maxine Dupree training video. Dupree was shown standing up, exhausted and sweating. She actually submitted Natalya in this video. Looking down at Natalya and saying, after tapping her out, again. Makes sense, being that she's got this IC title defense next week against Ivy Denial. Ivy in denial. Hasn't wrestled since June. Hasn't won a match since last year. Sure, man, let's give her an Intercontinental title match. Logan Paul. He went one-on-one with LA Knight. Yeah. Match went 13 minutes. This was the de facto main event of the night. Logan gave LA Knight a cheap shot as he entered the ring. The referee decided this was a good time to start the match here. LA Knight fought back anyway. He went outside, cleared the announce table. He bounced Logan's head off of it. LA Knight was in control. Logan Paul hits a zigzag of sorts for a 2 count. We go into a commercial break. Come back from the break. Logan hits an alley-oop facebuster. LA Knight fights back. Big leaping clothesline, Russian leg sweep, neck breaker. Signature LA Knight combos. 2 count only. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come on out. Knight is set up on the top rope. Logan used this distraction to knock Knight off the top rope. And it's a very sloppy flying crossbody for a 2 count. LA Knight countered a gunt wrench slam, hits a reverse DDT, followed by a flying elbow drop. LA Knight knocked Breaker off the apron, who tried to interfere, but was knocked down instead by Reed. Referee eventually figured out what happened, ejected the Bronze from ringside. They did not immediately leave. LA Knight attacked Logan Paul by the announce desk as the referee was attending to the Bronze on the opposite side. The Masked Man, who is not Seth Rollins, who is not Chris Jericho, flew in and gave LA Knight a curb stomp on the announce desk. Logan rolls LA Knight back in the ring. He delivers a beautiful frog splash. 1, 2, 3, and Logan Paul defeats LA Knight. Yeah. Braun's come on out. Again, they attack LA Knight after the match. Breaker speared Knight. Bronson Reed hit consecutive tsunamis. Officials and medical staff rolled LA Knight out of the ring as the Vision stood tall. LA Knight got destroyed. So after this match was over, they take LA Knight out of the ring. Heyman stood in the ring with the rest of the Vision. He's got a microphone. He says the fans didn't truly understand what they were booing for. He asked if they were in Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri. I can't tell. One thing I can tell, on January 5th, on the one-year anniversary of WWE on Netflix, there will be a new heavyweight champion of the world, Braun Breaker. Oh, there better be. There absolutely better be a new world heavyweight champion. Heyman hands Breaker the microphone again for a second week in a row for him to cut another promo on CM Punk. Fans are chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. Braun Breaker had one question. Where is CM Punk? He certainly is not here. He took a dig at the Kansas City Chiefs. Says he wanted to know where the CM Punk is. He says he doesn't get this nice guy version of Punk who follows the rules and takes pictures of himself with younger wrestlers to then post them on social media so fans think he's a good guy. He's a fraud. I'm sure all the AEW sickos are nodding in agreement. But they don't watch the product, so they don't know what Braun Breaker said here. He mocked Punk for bragging about being straight edge, never drinking and never doing drugs. But that's funny because he ends up looking like the biggest crackhead anyone's ever seen. He says he can beat the nice version of Punk, but he wants to face the guy from 2011, 2012, and 2013 who had an historic championship run for 434 days. He then got on his knees and begged Punk to give him the old version of him. He says if not, he will destroy this version of Punk, take his title, and what the hell? While I'm at it, I'll take your wife too. Man, he's really channeling his fucking Uncle Scotty, huh? That is a Scott Steiner Stein if I ever heard one. Fucking ridiculous. I'm going to take your wife too, all right? How about I'm going to take your title and I'm going to take your fucking wife. You know what? I'm just glad he never said anything about Larry. That is very... You can mention AJ. Don't mention anything about Larry, okay? I'm glad Breaker didn't go there. That would have been low. That would have been very low. And I wouldn't have really appreciated that. All of a sudden, while he's cutting this promo, we cut to the big screen, and on the big screen, LA Knight is like on the floor. He's telling the officials and the agents to get away from him. He's got it. He's got it. He don't want to look weak. I'm not done yet, he says. Done with what? It looks like you're done there, bro. Bronson Reed and Logan Paul, they're in the ring with Breaker here. They immediately see this on the screen and run to the back. Breaker continues the promo while they go and look for LA Knight. Breaker said on January 5th, it'll be Spear 1, 2, 3. Spear 1, 2, 3. Spear 1, 2, 3. He tore off his shirt as he got more emphatic saying it. There was this great shot where he looked right into the fucking camera. Cameraman was in the ring. He looked right into the camera. There was this great visual of Heyman in the background. It was kind of like one of them blurry shots. You saw Heyman in the background. Heyman was doing the 1, 2, 3 with that evil fucking smile behind Braun Breaker. That was a great fucking shot. So after that, we go backstage. Reed and Logan attacked LA Knight. LA Knight tried to fight back, even hit some security guys during this brawl in the back. Bronson Reed and Logan slammed LA Knight through a table by giving him a powerbomb. He continues to move again. Logan asks him, what's wrong, dude? What's wrong with this guy? Reed then carried Knight on his shoulders and threw him onto the hood of a rental car. Logan attacked a security guy. Bronson Reed then told Logan to put Knight on the roof of this white vehicle. Logan put Knight on the roof after punching him out. He's laying right on the roof of the car. Bronson Reed climbs some production crates that are built up like some ladder in the back. He climbs up top, and just like he did to Braun Strowman, remember when he tsunami Braun Strowman to the fucking vehicle of the car? This was not as good as that. That was tremendous. That was outside. He jumped off like the fucking, there was like a wall in the parking lot. He jumped off the stone wall. He tsunami'd Bronson Reed did Braun Strowman. The glass on the car shattered everywhere. He did the same thing here. They tried to recreate this spot with LA Knight. It looked great, but it did not give you the visual of the Braun Strowman spot. He tsunami'd LA Knight on top of this vehicle. Logan was yelling in celebration. Adam Pearce is yelling, "Get the goddamn medics! Call the medics!" He's yelling. And Monday Night Raw, the credits hit the screen. Monday Night Raw goes off the air with Bronson Reed giving him a tsunami on the top of this rental car. And that's the way Monday Night Raw ended. Again, I don't really know what else I could tell you guys on top of what I already started the show off with tonight in regards to LA Knight. It looks like LA Knight was written off television. Anybody can figure that out by watching the show. But for what reason? I don't want to reiterate myself from what I said earlier, but I do feel like there's got to be an end goal here for LA Knight. It would not be in WWE's best interest to continue to book LA Knight in this terrible, terrible way. He looks like a complete schmuck. He looks like a loser. So what exactly are we doing? There's no reason for LA Knight to be on television now. He's not factoring into anything. He lost the John Cena tournament. He wasn't in War Games. He's not in contention for the World Heavyweight Championship. There really isn't nothing for him to do. So what I'm thinking is, let's get him off television. Let's make the fans miss him and start questioning him. I think WWE is genuinely doing this on purpose to rile up the fan base so that we get angry. And then they can deliver LA Knight the way that we want. Now, that's a stretch. Given this guy's last 7, 8, 9 months, I don't really trust them to do what's right. But LA Knight has shown up night in and night out. You told him to go out there and do. He's given you everything he has. This year, we've seen Jey Uso shoved down our throats. Some of it worked. Most of it didn't. If they want their breakout guy next year, if they want to do everything in these staggered stages, can't do everything at one time. It's got to be this guy this year and then this guy next year. If they want their Jey Uso for 2026, they got it in LA Knight. Now, Jey won the Royal Rumble. I don't really see LA Knight winning the Royal Rumble. But if WWE wants to get into the business of taking risks, you got two big ones in January. Braun Breaker beats CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, and LA Knight would win the Royal Rumble. Again, that is a stretch. But I genuinely don't know what else they have planned for him. You know, we talked about LA Knight and what his plans for WrestleMania could be. You know, Jericho is more than likely coming into WWE. He will probably be in the Royal Rumble. I could see LA Knight versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. I mean, does that excite anybody? The promo work would be fucking great. But what exactly are we doing there? Just more of the same. If you want to make an impact with Jericho, I think Jericho could go and do anything else. It doesn't necessarily need to be LA Knight. But if you want to make an impact with LA Knight, I mean, winning the Royal Rumble would certainly do that. And maybe we're looking at it all wrong. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be CM Punk and LA Knight at WrestleMania. I don't know. Who knows? Usually I have the answers. Usually I am very opinionated. I'm opinionated on why this guy's being booked like shit. I just don't know why. The only thing I could really kind of put my finger on is that somebody in a upper level management position doesn't like LA Knight. And he continues to get the fucking, yeah, we got plans for you. You know, you just got to wait it out. This is our vision. And then it never comes. I just don't know what the purpose of him being buried truly is. Unless it's truly leading to something that's going to be a major story going into WrestleMania season. I just don't get it. I thought Monday Night Raw was solid. We got some nice match announcements for the Saturday night's main event on Saturday. We got some great ladies action. We got more of the mystery guy, who I still think is Austin Theory. Logan Paul's on television in the Vision. We got the LA Knight ride-off angle. Braun Breaker continues to shine on the microphone and really kind of pressure CM Punk to bring the real CM Punk to January 5th. We got a big week. It's going to be a big week, and I'm going to be excited to spend this week with you guys and really kind of dive into what WWE is going to do with us on Saturday night. Thank you guys very much for all of your supports. If you guys want to support the channel, best way to do that is the Super Chats. We are going to get into them in just a little bit. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Make sure you guys continue to hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 750 likes tonight on the Monday Night Raw Post Show, which tonight we are sponsored by my great friends over at Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/script. Make sure you guys use that promo code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. Before we get to the Super Chats, a word from tonight's sponsor in Turtle Beach. You know, as I'm absolutely frying these guys with my M15 on Kill Confirmed, I can't help but think it was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring because JD was too dialed in with his Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 3 headset. Guys, I'm not exaggerating. This headset is basically the Randy Orton RKO of gaming audio. It comes out of nowhere and changes lives instantly. And the nostalgia. Man, let me tell you. Do you remember when you unwrapped your very first gaming headset on Christmas morning? When you plugged it in and it suddenly felt like you had superpowers? That's exactly what the Stealth 700 Gen 3 does. Except now it's crystal clear audio, immersive 3D sound, and not the old broken headset with the mic hanging by a wire like AEW Creative. This thing has 80 hours of battery life. 80. I'm not kidding. That's longer than some WWE title reigns. It lasts so long, they should test it for PEDs. And comfort? Bro, the memory foam cushions feel like two miniature Christmas pillows hugging your head. I've worn these things for hours without even realizing it. Meanwhile, I'm snapping necks and Kill Confirmed like I'm auditioning for Survivor Series. And this here might be my favorite part, the dual wireless crossplay transmitter. I can switch between console and PC with just one click and still take calls or blast music from my phone while playing. I was literally shredding enemies earlier while listening to Christmas music. Felt like Buddy the Elf with a KD ratio. And yes, compared to my old headset, this thing is like going from AEW Rampage to WrestleMania. I hear footsteps I didn't even know were in the game. My squad actually wins more because I can call things out early. My gameplay speaks for itself. Elevated. My confidence, elevated. My enemies, like Matt Hardy, delete, delete, delete. And listen, if you got that one friend whose headset dies every time you're in the final circle, yeah, they need this. It's the holiday equivalent of saving Christmas. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. And for a limited time only, head to turtlebeach.com and use code SCRIPT for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off your entire order at turtlebeach.com with promo code SCRIPT. Don't delay. Get the perfect holiday gift today, and happy holidays from Turtle Beach. Man, look at that strategic gameplay there, man. That's not camping, by the way. Not what I call camping. That is traversing a map in a very strategic and mindful way. Anyway, guys, get those super chats in. We're going to hang out right now. I just want to make you aware that there was content that went up on Saturday, or Sunday, rather. Went up on Sunday. We talked about the Netflix purchase, quote unquote. Nothing's official after Paramount came in at $20 billion more than what Netflix is offering in an all-cash deal today. How this affects AEW. If you guys missed that video, go and watch it and get my perspective on it. For everybody that says, oh, this is not going to affect AEW, it will certainly affect AEW. Because Paramount won't kill AEW, Netflix won't kill AEW. The only thing that's going to kill AEW is Tony Khan's negligence. It's the only thing that's going to kill AEW. And right now, he is certainly in the midst of doing that. They came in at sub 500,000 in the rating. Again, this past week. That's not a company that is healthy. So go check that video out. It's on the homepage right now. Well worth your watch. Let's get into these super chats so I could maybe hop on some Destiny 2 Renegades and maybe some Black Ops 7 before bed. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JDOTS, hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Bossmo Jackson with a $4.99 and a $4.99. If LA Knight ever turned heel, that would be television gold. Why this guy isn't champion, I'll never know. Dude has everything. His promos are fire. Tonight's promo was great. Also, WWE hadn't cared for tag team wrestling in quite some time. This isn't their MO. Usos are back, greatly needed. New Day gimmick is on life support. Yeah, the Usos are not the fix to the tag team division that will be the end-all, be-all. There is a lot of work to be done there. Main event, Crawley, 81. The Phenomenal Dragons should be AJ Styles and Dragon Lee's tag team while they merge the tag team division. The Phenomenal Dragons. Doesn't roll off the tongue. We should definitely merge the tag team division, though. I've been saying that since 2016. Marshall D with a $1.99. Lyra Valkyria is boring. I wouldn't say she's boring. I very much like Lyra. Also with a $1.99, this Raw crowd is dead. As he sent me this at 9:46 p.m. I didn't think they were that bad. We've certainly heard worse. We have certainly heard worse. Sailor Sirens, I like that. Dragon style, I like that. I like that a lot. Bossmo Jackson with a $1.99. Spear 123 is badass. OTS for life. That'll be on a shirt within the next 2 weeks, I guarantee you. Captain Solo with a 2. Eli Drake to AEW confirmed. Yeah. Michelle Moran with a $5 super chat. Who the fuck did LA Knight piss off? The only way to resurrect his career is to put him in the Vision. And I can't believe we got a crumb of tension in Judgment Day. Yeah, we got a couple of crumbs from that Entenmann's crumb cake. Luca with an 8 months. WWE lifeless corpo slop. AEW aimless indie trash. OTS the best of the best. Thanks for all you do, JD. Andale, andale, arriba! So saith El Ononico. Bro, El Ononico is legendary. Thank you, Luca. Lenin Jimenez. LA Knight got some parking lot farewell like Ricochet. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Boss Mo Jackson with the 199. Masked Man is a Theory, and LA Knight is winning the Rumble. It is Austin Theory, and LA Knight could certainly win the Royal Rumble. Joey Taylor, $5 Super Chat. JD Raw, 5 out of 10. Chris Jericho will be on the first Monday Night Raw next year. Can I get a shout out? My birthday is Wednesday. Joey, happy early birthday, brother. We will probably see you on Wednesday in the chat. For Dynamite. Dynamite. Joey Taylor also with a $2 Super Chat. I will be the big 3-0 on Wednesday. Brother, you better be celebrating like a motherfucker. That's a milestone birthday there, bro. Lennon. Another super chat here. I think Cena is going to pass out rather than tap out. Bro, I think Cena's going to win his match. AA, pin Gunther, celebrate, right off into the sunset with a W. People are not paying all that money to see John Cena lose. Soldier's Attic with a $10 super chat. Aloha, JD, from Hawaii. I'm not trying to reach. However, I noticed something in tonight. What if the Masked Man angle is Grayson Waller, but will be the angle to start Fury and Waller's feud? Brother, I hope you are absolutely dead wrong on that. Now, Grayson Waller is not the Masked Man. Austin Theory is the Masked Man. And hope all is well in Hawaii, brother. I would love to visit Hawaii one of these days. Never been. Hurricane with a 64 months. Thank you, brother. JD, great show as always, and thank you for always giving us your best every show. Ricardo, my guy Ricardo Linnell. I don't know why I still have these ats on YouTube while everybody else has fucking regular names. I don't get it. Thank you, Ricardo. 64 months is one of the longest tenured members of the OTS VIP Club. Hellfire Kai with a $5 super chat. You know what LA Knight and Jericho have in common? They're both victims of conspiracy. Braun should have said that. He is going to do it with AJ Lee for Heat. Solo has ats now too, huh? Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Him and I could suffer together. We got a $3 super chat from Brooklyn Owns, 93. Blake has an open challenge for her North American Championship on Tuesday. That is correct. I don't know who it's going to be. More lack of creative from WWE, I see. We're doing this on Raw. We're doing this on SmackDown, so I guess somebody on NXT had to do it now, too, right? Uh-oh. We got Demeter Bullion Doggy in the chat with a $7.99. A, they say Danielson will enter Royal Rumble. It should be a 43-man Royal Rumble. Cody turns heel with Damian Priest, a faction that would rule TNA. It's quite the odd number there, man. A 43-man Rumble, huh? Somehow I feel like WWE would still fuck that up. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. You probably don't care, but Ivy Nile fought Thea Hale in the main event a few days ago, and she won. Ha 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 ha. Oh, on main event. Nobody watches that. That doesn't count, bro. That doesn't count. You got to actually be on a show that matters for it to matter. Jeff with a 10 months. Hey, JD, bought myself a pair of those Turtle Beach Gen 3 headphones. Can't wait for arrival. Going to SmackDown Friday for the Go Home show. Merry Christmas. Well, Jeff, I appreciate that, bro. You're going to love those headsets, bro. The sound is fucking great, man. Out of all the headsets I got, they are some of the best. Genuinely. Microphone could be a little bit better, but it's not terrible. I've heard worse. Also, with a $10 super chat, JD hoping for better creative in WWE in 2026. Going to SmackDown Friday with my son sitting 7 rows from ring. Good memories for father's son. Merry Christmas again and Happy New Year to you and family. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that, brother. Enjoy that with your son, man. Don't know what's happening on SmackDown outside of that mixed tag with Rhea and Damian Priest against Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. But hopefully it's a good show. Furious Nation with a $4.99. What's up, JD? Raw was solid. Saturday night's main event should be a banger. NXT Deadline was solid, too. I thought Deadline was better than Survivor Series. Legitimately. And can I say Kendall Gray is fucking great? Can I just say that? I don't know where the fuck she came from or what her background is, but she is legitimately the next top female in this company. I swear to God. She is prepped for... That division's going to be hers, bro. I would actually belt her on New Year's Evil. I would have her beat JC Jane, call her up to the main roster. JC Jane. I'm having Javon Evans beat Oba Femi, and I'm having Kendall Gray beat JC Jane. Furious Nation with a $1.99. He also says, I think Bruce may have it in for LA Knight. Thoughts? I think so. I genuinely think so. And Briar Patch Productions with a $4.99. In my opinion, LA Knight should have beaten Gunther. It would be less safe and predictable in a sea of safe choices made throughout the year. Gunther is great, but still. Listen, man, they could have did that, but they got their own vision. They got their own guy, and that guy is Gunther. LA Knight doesn't fit into those plans right now. What can I tell you? Guys, thank you for a great stream. We'll be back tomorrow with Tuesday Night Titans with the one and the only Solid Monster. Should be a great show. We got a lot to talk about. And you guys are going to be in for a treat tomorrow. So join us there. TNT. Episode 125 tomorrow. Always a great listen on Tuesday nights. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go and check out all the great content on the channel. There is plenty of it. Including the Warner Brothers Netflix drama this past weekend and how it affects AEW and what will really kill AEW and why it won't be Netflix or Paramount or a sale of Warner Brothers Discovery. Go check that out. Follow me on social media. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Monday Night Raw. How you feeling about Saturday night's main event, the way it's shaping up. And Turtle Beach, turtlebeach.com/scripts. Make sure you guys go get your Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset or any other gaming peripherals you may need for the holiday season. Code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. turtlebeach.com/scripts. And I will see you right back here tomorrow night for Tuesday Night Titans with the Solid Monster. I'll see you guys later.